Hey Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and the one behind the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. Come dream with us. Your soul tribe awaits you. I do all kinds of things. Gemstone readings, mind reprogramming, energy medicine. At this time in my life, I've been redirected by Source to bring us together. The Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective through an umbrella term called Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. You're invited. Dream with us. Through dreams, half remembered and half misunderstood, we fill in the gaps for each other because we're all one. There's all kinds of times and dates lined up that I would absolutely adore for you to be a part of. And one of my favorite things to do is to assert that the Akashic records are not a permanent record because your past never defines you. And we can do what's called living consciously so we can die consciously. United are we. Be free. Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective awaits you. Dream with us. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, creator and visionary of Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness. See you in dreams.
Hey, Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and thank you so much for joining me today on my live Hangout. Today, I hang out with you. So today, we talk about whatever we want to talk about. If you've got questions for me, you can pop them into the comments. And if I have anything to promote, I FYI you about that. And if you are looking to have me as a guest on your show, for the rest of 2026, Wednesdays, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. That's the time that you can reach out to me, Gina Virginia Casella, yours truly, and I would absolutely adore to be on your show. We can talk about all kinds of things, all the content that I provide, everything that I'm passionate about, from my gemstone readings to the Dragon Dreams Oracle, mind reprogramming. If you wanted to talk about any of my books, my mini movies, this business of Isis consciousness, Project 30, Unity Consciousness, any of that, I would absolutely love to be a guest on your show. So if you would like a reading from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, just let me know in the chat. If you would like to make a donation on my Buy Me a Coffee, you can. You don't have to, but that's always appreciated. I've got my Buy Me a Coffee there in the comments. And if you want me to pull a card from you, just let me know in the comments and I will do that. So just before I do that, I want to put it on screen share and update for you. Hi, Willard Wright. I see you there in the chat. Stay tuned. I will provide you with a reading. I'll pull a card for you. And I'm excited. If anybody else out there is tuning in, just let me know in the comments if you would like a reading, and I will pull a card from you from the beloved Dragon Dreams Oracle, which is not your ordinary oracle. So just putting it on screen share here. So I want to show you my post that went out in my Buy Me a Coffee. It's absolutely free to follow me. And then you just default to getting in on the emails, and those who belong to my membership, Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness, there's some really great bonuses in there. So I work with pull energy, so I'll leave it to you to discover what those bonuses are. But I will tell you that part of the update that I made in my Buy Me a Coffee today was letting Dragon Dreamers know that the the Dragon Destiny conference online portion is absolutely free as of this morning to members of Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. So I got it here on screen share. This is my homepage. If you're not familiar with Buy Me a Coffee, you can read about me and my false inhibiting beliefs, how I've overcome them, my passion for hypnotherapy, energy medicine, rules of the mind, the memberships, if you're interested. I offer private sessions. And so if you wanted me to do a private gemstone reading, engage in some mind reprogramming with you, I always test first to see if you have an intrusive entity. I've learned my lessons. And you know what? When you book a session with me, ultimately, you don't have to be overwhelmed. Gina, do I book soul retrieval? Do I do mind reprogramming? What do I do and what do I do in what order? You know what? Even if you wanted to do soul retrieval, no. I need to see you first and I need to test you for intrusive entities and then we can talk about it. Myself personally, I didn't know until I became an energy medicine practitioner that soul retrieval isn't something you just jump into. I mean, maybe if you've been seeing somebody like me and now you're ready to do soul retrieval, that's a bit different. But to I learned that soul retrieval, there's a bit of a step-by-step process. And to make a long story short, you don't want to pay me or anybody money, even if you have a disposable income, okay? You don't want to waste any of your time sending the shaman to the underworld only to discover that your soul does not want to return until whatever conditions are met. So you want to make sure you're proactively meeting those conditions. Those of you who are tuning in, big welcome to you and a huge Dragon welcome to new Dragon members. Every time I come on live, I'm noticing more and more coming in, and it's never about the quality. It's always about, it's never about the quantity. It's always about the quality. And we are a high quality group. If you want me to pull a card from you from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, followed Willard Wright's lead, let me know in the comments. Absolutely free. I'm just going to pull one. We're keeping it simple here, not going into any deep dives. And if you would like to send money my way, please do. There's my Buy Me a Coffee. And I believe on YouTube is where I'm reading your comments. So if you left a comment on Rumble, come on over to YouTube so I don't miss you. Okay, so I'm going to do that in just a moment here. So my Buy Me a Coffee, BMAC for short, if you're not familiar, memberships, you can book your own private membership. So for example, they all have a number here in lieu of your name, and it helps me keep organized. So if you wanted to book the 502 Shamanic Dragon, there's the time, Eastern, and all the dates are listed. So just be mindful about that. You have lots of notice. And here's the bonuses here. Again, I work with pull energy, so check those out. But this one here is the big one. Collective membership, ISIS Unity Consciousness. So if you don't have the collective membership, ISIS Unity Consciousness membership, because you're opting to come book privates with me, then you still default to all these bonuses. So it's pretty sweet. And speaking of the collective membership here, Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness, here it is. This is the most popular one. I actually recently canceled my other memberships and I'm funneling them into one membership. It keeps things affordable, and personally, I like the bonuses. So I work with Pull Energy. Check out all the bonuses here. And this is the one that was updated this morning. So it includes a live link to Gina's online conferences. There's 4 a year. March, June, September, December, and they're all pending. And that was already a thing, but it also includes the, it didn't update, I'm noticing here. Maybe I didn't hit save. Okay, this is what being live is all about here. Let me scan my bonuses because there's 4 each year, and well, you know what? Let me just do that now here. I don't know why it's bothering me here. Okay, you're gonna get it live in action here with me. Okay, I'm gonna go to buy me a coffee. I'm feeling the pressure now because I'm going live. How could this be? Dashboard. Where's my memberships? Okay, you're seeing stuff that you shouldn't see. Okay, what I want to do, I want to go to settings. No, I don't. I want to go to memberships here. Okay. So if you don't have a buy me a coffee and you're looking to promote yourself, I recommend it. Brain fart on my part. I must have not hit the save button. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I wrote too much stuff. Okay, let's edit this one here. Okay, the bonus includes free live links to Gina's online conferences. There's 4 a year, yeah, March, June, September, December, and possibly July, because it sounds like Dragon Destiny is going to be a hybrid concert, the conference. Okay, is it in there for each year? March, June, July, September, December, all pending. Okay, thank you for being with me live and getting through that. Okay, my apologies. I am the unapologetic type, just so you know, and I sincerely apologize about that. Okay, let me make sure everything is in alignment here. Again, if you would like me to pull a card from you from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, please let me know. So let's just go to memberships now and make sure that that's in there. And those of you who are new to me, I'm feeling pretty relaxed about this little hiccup here because those of you who are not new to me know that I'm very highly organized. So, okay, want to make sure that's there. Okay, right here. Okay, so to reiterate, you've got 2 choices. You can book a private membership with me. There's all the times, dates. It's the Shamanic Dragon. Good for you, good for me, happy day. But the thing I wanted to reiterate was if you belong to the shamanic private sessions, it defaults you to being part of the collective membership. So you don't have to worry about paying for both memberships is the point that I wanted to make. If you belong to the Project 30 Isis Unity Conscious membership, then no, you don't get privates, but you do get all these bonuses. So I work with Pole Energy. Check out all these bonuses. Some of them are coming into manifestation, like the Dragon Dreams movie series. We haven't had a special movie night yet, but that is coming, all right? This one here, this is what is new. So if the thing is, Dragon Destiny almost didn't happen because Rosie and I and my cat were relocating. And so I thought, well, I don't want to have an in-person conference if I'm not sure on, those details. And to make a long story short, Dragon Destiny ended up being a hybrid conference. And so if you go to my post, if you click on the post, you'll see that I post in here pretty much every day. And I keep things up to date, so you don't have to worry about going back. You can go back a really long time ago if you want to check out posts. Most of this gets cross-posted onto my Facebook, and you can also find it on my YouTube, any videos. All right, so here's today's post, and this is really important because if you were a Dragon presenter, Dragon speaker, monitor for me in the past, then you get defaulted to belonging to the Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness membership. And to change things up a little bit for Dragon Destiny, and again, to make another long story short, I canceled the dinner, the in-person, and I made it available to you for purchase for $40 online. But if you belong to the ISIS Unity Project 30 consciousness membership, which costs $30, then you default to getting it for free. So you save $10 and you get in on all the bonuses. But if you presented for me in the past, then you get free membership to ISIS Project Unity 30. So just keep that in mind. So I charge $833 for 45 minutes of my time, and $833, that tends to scare a lot of people away. But you know what scares people away even more is being afraid of their own success. What if I reprogrammed your mind and you didn't have that problem anymore? You know, honestly, if I reprogrammed your mind, you're struggling with weight, you can't sleep, you can't eat, you're always procrastinating, you're not reaching your goals, whatever your ailment is, you've got itchy, rashy skin, you smoke cigarettes, you don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore. I can help you with anything. The real question it boils down to, though, is how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it, right? So if money wasn't an issue for you, you can spend the $30 on the Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness membership, and then it defaults you to getting that link to Dragon Destiny. It's July 11th, by the way. And we're going to be doing some suggestibility testing. I'll just scroll down here because it shows you the agenda. So basically, the conference, Dragon Destiny, it starts at 8:30 in the morning. I hang out with you live. 9 a.m., it's a prompt start. I welcome you. We light our candles, open sacred space, journey to the pine tree forest. Then I will be providing a collective safe extraction of intrusive entities. So whether you think you have intrusive entities or not, if you do, they're going to be coming my way, so you won't have to worry about them anymore. This defaults me to rebalancing your chakras and providing an illumination. I don't know if you know that, so it was important for me to plug that in the schedule, okay? So if you're wondering, like, what did that girl do to me? That's what I did to you. I'm going to be extracting intrusive entities safely from you as a collective and rebalancing your chakras. And then I will illuminate your chakras, clearing the affinities. Then I will speak to you about the rules of the mind. Presentation is 35 minutes maximum. And I already got it all figured out. Of course, it's too long, but whatever. I'll figure that part out. And suggestibility fun. We're going to make sure we have time for that. Now, depending on how many folks are tuning in live, that will depend on if we need to do rounds. So I'm going to be paying attention to you, paying attention to your faces and how you respond. And I'm going to choose one person, the person who's demonstrating the most suggestibility. And if more than one person is suggesting strong suggestibility, then I'll simply put the names in a bowl. I'll draw one name, and then at 1:30 here on the schedule, that person will undergo mind reprogramming live, and everybody else can bear witness to it. And then if you've never experienced mind reprogramming, well, you can experience today live, not today, but on the day of Dragon Destiny, July 11th. And the only thing I need to warn you about is if you have a psychotic illness, then hypnotherapy is not recommended for you. And I do have professional liability insurance, and I was trained by one of the best, Marissa Peer. I don't sell modalities, but I know a lot of folks out there are inspired. So you can Google Marissa Peer, you can YouTube her RTT videos. RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy, Hypnotherapy. And I was trained, my energy medicine training was provided by the Four Winds, Alberto Villaldo, and his program is synonymous. It's considered the Harvard of energy medicine. Now, when I do mind reprogramming on you, Marissa Peer's modality, that's completely separate from energy medicine. And when I'm extracting intrusive entities from you, then I'm applying Alberto Villaldo and the Four Winds shamanic training, which is in alignment with the Andean medicine wheel, if anybody's interested in that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And thank you for letting me get through that here. Let me take it off screen share. So if anybody would like me to pull a card from them from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, I can do that right now. So far, it's just Willard Wright. Willard, you're the one and only right now. Thank you for being the one and only. Let me put on my dream scarf. And like I mentioned, if anybody wants to have me as a guest on your show, I'm happy to pull cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. I used to do live gemstone readings, but I dialed it back because now it's really special. Everything I do is really special, but it's become more of a distinguished approach here. So. And the Dragon Dreams Oracle, if you're interested in purchasing your own copy, I've got the link there in the description. It comes in a nice tin container, double tin. So I'm always curious, right? Some people like to keep their tarot oracle in nice knitted pouches or special bags that they pick up at special places. You might just keep it in this tin box. Maybe you'll keep matches, a candle in here. Let me know. The Dragon Dreams Oracle also comes with a book and some blank pages for you to create your own images. You can trade them with others. And if you really want to take the deep dive with the Dragon Dreams Oracle, then you definitely should get in on my book series, The Dragon Dreams, which you're all a part of. So, okay, so I'm feeling excited. You know what? I got my days mixed up, and I actually thought somebody else was hosting me today. So it's great here. Okay, Willard, you've been really patient. Willard was studious. He was with me live, and thanks for giving me a chance to promote here, Willard. And something I just wanted to flash to was I made this during the full moon. I forget the name of the plant. It's a Chinese plant. It's actually poisonous if you don't use it properly. There's medicinal purposes in there, but I read up on it, and as long as I'm not drinking it, it's fine. So I'm just making this flora here. So I put the flower in, broke it up a bit, said some prayers, added my vodka. It's been sitting here for a few nights. I usually find 2-3 nights is good enough for me, but I felt like, oh, you know what, this one could actually sit a bit longer. So next time I see you, hopefully that will be in a bottle. Okay, Willard. Okay, definitely passion and excitement. And the masculine fire is choosing this card for Willard. Willard. The card that you got is Full Disclosure, Changed Forever, the Ontological Imperative, Co-Dreaming Rules. Oh, you know what? I should probably take off my screen. Can you see that okay? So the thing about the Dragon Dreams Oracle is that these were actual pictures from my dream journal that I took. I redrew them, and I'm going to take it off screen share so you can see it better. But this one, the Ontological Imperative, it's all about basically your world breaking up. Like once you realize something has been fully disclosed to you, you're forever changed, right? Whatever was going on, well, your thoughts now are changed. The ontological imperative, that can be terrifying because you see, we have these things in place called rules that we agreed to. There's my cat Rosie there. We have rules that we agreed to. So for example, trees, they don't walk and talk, right? They stay rooted in the ground. Now, you might have a spiritual belief that trees talk, but for what it's worth, and I'm not being funny, I'm being very serious right now. If you were at the beach and randomly a tree started talking to you, like, don't tell me that wouldn't freak you out. Okay. So, this is the ontological imperative when your world doesn't make sense anymore. And what's scary about it is that you don't make sense anymore. And just because there's not a lot of people tuning in live, and thus far, nobody else has asked me to pull a card. Regilio, you were with me yesterday or whatever it was. Welcome back. If you want me to pull a card for you, absolutely free. Just let me know. If you want to donate money, you can. My Buy Me a Coffee is there. But today I'm just having fun pulling cards. So I want to read this to you, Willard. Number 32, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So maybe that means something to you. Okay, and Regilio's saying yes. Okay. Thanks, Regilio. Okay, 35. 32, excuse me, 32. So 3 plus 2 is 5. I don't even know what I said anymore. You know what? We're having a really hot day. It's actually heat wave right now that we're having. And so I was in the darkness, and now all of a sudden, I think I'm just kind of thrown off with the big bright lights in my face. Willard's asking, why is evil after me? And Teresa. You know what, Willard? You need to get in on my Project 30 membership because it defaults you to getting that free link for the conference, Dragon Destiny, on July 11th. And if you win, then that could be the thing that I help you with. Like, when was the first time you felt like evil was always after you? And then I would mind reprogram you so that evil's not after you anymore. Or you can book a private with me for $833. But you know what? I would take the opportunity and get in on the Project 30 ISIS Unity membership. That goes for anybody that's listening right now. Okay, so what does this say anyways? Number 32, full disclosure, changed forever, the ontological imperative. Oracle card 32, which is centered around the concept of smashing through the glass sky. This metaphor represents the act of breaking through perceived illusions and limitations, a process akin to transformational healing or hypnotherapy. By shattering these perceived boundaries, one realizes that what appears to be a sky is in fact an infinite expanse of that seemingly distinct elements, like the sea and sky are indistinguishable. The central theme is the freedom that comes with recognizing and dismantling these self-imposed or societal issues, illusions, thereby rewriting one's internal program. Gina illustrates this with a deeply personal story from their childhood where witnessing two angels emerging from a wall radically altered their perception of reality at the age of 7. The experience, described as terrifying and life-changing, is presented as a personal instance of smashing through the glass sky. This experience underscored Gina's later understanding of supernatural and extraterrestrial phenomenal. So, Willard, only you would know. Let me know if this card's in alignment with you. But I feel it is, because you're commenting in the chat that, evil is following you around. And this is you probably have an intrusive entity, right? And the intrusive entity is probably making you think that you're losing your mind when you're not. Intrusive entities, they hide right behind you, so you can't see them. But sometimes they screw up and you do see them, and then you think you're losing your mind when it was an intrusive entity. So if you're having if you feel like somebody's playing jokes on you and it's not funny, that could also be an intrusive entity. And you know what? This is where people sometimes get really upset with me, but I do tell it like it is. And it's happened to me too, is I started to challenge if I was evil in a past life, because so much crap was happening to me. I even ended up homeless. I was a public school teacher, no addictions, no criminal record, not because I didn't get caught. And I ended up homeless. Like, how the fuck did that happen, right? Total system failure. And I started to get freaked out because I thought maybe I'm being targeted because the more I rise above, right? And then I thought maybe I'm getting punished. And anyways, it led me to all of these kind of thoughts. And so I know targeting is a real thing. I know intrusive entities are a real thing. But you know what else is a real thing? You. And your mind's number one job is to protect you, even if it means lying to you and creating false inhibiting beliefs that keep you stuck and stagnant, including thoughts and beliefs that you're evil, that evil's following you around, that you're not good enough, that things aren't available to you, that there's something wrong or different about you. Well, fuck all of that, because there's nothing wrong with you. You're enough and things are available to you. And usually it's us. We're our biggest enemy. We're our biggest problem. And our conscious mind is thriving on this programming that's void, outdated. So I know sometimes it can seem kind of scary to think that you're being targeted or evil is in your life, but I want you to adopt the perspective and let it in that it might just be you preventing you from being successful. So, you know, and Regelia was commenting, I thought the same. And Willard is commenting, I've seen them, I stopped them. Yeah, seen the intrusive entity, Willard? Yeah, and you know what? Like, stopping them isn't enough. They need to go. As long as you have an intrusive entity, they're feeding off of your life force energy. And some intrusive entities can really be there for you, and you can develop a serious, seemingly positive bond with them. But that's only because they recognize that, hey, you're aware of them, and they don't have any business being in your energy field. So you can see why it's nice to have a conversation with me in person with a private, because we can really dig into this kind of stuff, booking a gemstone reading and whatnot. Okay, who else wants one? I noticed Regilio wanted one. And Alexandria, you're saying done. Done what? What are you done? Let us know. Okay, clearing Willard there. Okay, this next one is for Regilio. Okay, here you are, just to help me keep track. Okay, and if anybody out there would like a reading, just let me know in the chat. You don't have to make a donation. If you would like to on my Buy Me a Coffee, that is always appreciated. But today we're just, let's just have some fun pulling here. Okay. Regilio. Okay, thinking about you. What's the message for Regilio? Okay, and both my index fingers are like hungry to touch those cards. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, the feminine water, and the masculine water, Regilio, coming together in honor of you. Okay, I get a very strong impression that you need to righty-tighty things up. There's this right rolling around kind of sensation going. So both my index fingers are choosing this one. I was thinking Polaris. I should have said it out loud just for the sake of synchronicity. But when my fingers were like this, I'm like, this reminds me of Polaris's horns, you know? Look who I pulled, Polaris. So this card is about power. There's weak power and there's strong power, right? So if somebody who was bigger than me physically beated me up, well, who's the winner? Well, that person's the winner, right? They were able to beat me up. They're more powerful. But that is a very fine example of weak power. Any form of bullying is weak power, you know. So you're being reminded about weak power and authentic power. So there is a difference. So this could mean that you're misusing your power, and or it could mean that others around you are misusing their power. So only you would know, but Polaris is asking, what makes you powerful, and is it worth it? And I just called this card power, and it says weak power does not equal power. And people who are immature, whether it's developmentally immature or they're just socially, emotionally immature for whatever reasons, they like violence and they perceive violence as power. And that is the wrong perspective. So let me read what I put in here. It's Oracle card number 27. 2 plus 7 is 9, if that means anything to you, Regilio. Gina delves into the concept of power, introducing Polaris, characterized by a hardcore masculine military type energy that is very intimidating. Polaris's message emphasizes that true power lies not in being big, strong, or powerful, but in how one uses that power, requiring a thorough consideration: who, what, when, where, why, and how. The discussion distinguishes between strong power and weak power, with weak power being defined as a form of bullying. This is illustrated with an analogy of forcefully taking a basketball, which, despite demonstrating physical capability, is deemed unkind and bullying. Gina observes a significant prevalence of weak power in the world, often stemming from a lack of effective leadership, training, and mentorship, resulting in parity in leadership. This lack of skilled leadership allows weak power and bullying to thrive, often masked as familiarity or safe. Many individuals in long-term relationship positions may lack essential Many individuals in long-term leadership positions may lack essential life skills and continuous training. The absence of a comprehensive ecosystem or continuum of education is detrimental to individuals at all levels and stages of life, as everyone possesses power. And this, to me, this card is just reminding me of all the reasons why I created this card. Parity in leadership. How many people are in leadership that have no business being in leadership? Like, what the hell did they do before they took on this role? Usually not much. Or usually it was an easy role, like where they photocopied something for their parents and they got paid big money for it. And there's a lack of mentorship, and we end up with people in positions of power who they don't realize the misuse of their power. They see people as numbers. They don't see people as people. And when people are familiar with this power, they easily intimidate. So there's much to be said about this card. And Polaris, for what it's worth, he is intimidating. He is a hardcore masculine. And the first time I met him in my dream life, he was not impressed because I didn't know any different, but he made a commitment at that moment that he was going to back away and let me do what I needed to do. And that was very hard for him. So he's there for you if you need help. And Regilio is saying, I have had the same thought with regard to feeling targeted and wondering if I did something wrong or did some kind of curses. Yeah, and Regilio is mentioning like our conversation earlier there when I pulled another card for our other person. But yeah, like things that happen in past lives will haunt you, right? And it's easy to start manipulating this life using your past life and all that guilt and shame, right? I've got a lot to say about past lives. And I do believe that we all have our own suitcase with our own baggage, and any baggage that we're carrying around from past lives, that's not our baggage. That's the baggage that belongs to that past life. and that past life, ghost spirit or whatever, is the one that needs to deal with it. And I do believe that we can help out because we're in a biological state and we're able to transcend things. So now I'm just being chatty here and passionate, but Regilio is also commenting 9 is my birth month and birthday of my sisters, 6, 9, and 11 and 9. So that's interesting to play around with the 27 here from Polaris. Yeah. So I'm wondering if anybody else out there tuning in would like me to pull a card from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. I think I'm ready to sign off. We are having a really hot day here, and we're getting a comment in from Semaleeks. Let me know how to properly say your name. Hello to you, sister from Sri Lanka. I am just seeing your profile. It's very nice to meet you. Where are you from? What's your name? So Gina Virginia Casella here, and you can absolutely join my Buy Me a Coffee. It's free to join. Anywhere in the world, you can access it. And there's lots to learn about me. I will just put my link here for you in on the screen. So I'm really passionate about mind reprogramming, hypnotherapy, and I come on here live at least for the rest of 2026, Wednesdays live hangout. So thanks for hanging out with me. And just checking my phone here in case I missed some comments coming in. And you're welcome, Regilio. And says the message really shook me. Oh, okay. I hope it shook you in a good way. What makes you powerful, and is it worth it? Is it worth it? So I wonder if anybody's ever thought if they had an intrusive entity before and why you might think that. It might be because in your life you keep having these hiccups, you keep, screwing up, making decisions that you shouldn't be making. One of the cards in here is called I Don't Do Stupid Anymore. This is all based on my real life and real dreams. I created an elixir called that. I don't do stupid anymore. And I would drink it every day and I would say a prayer. I don't do stupid anymore. Okay, so I've got 216. If anybody out there, I can see there's 2 people currently viewing. If anybody would like me to pull a card from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, just let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off in a few minutes here. So, Dragon Dreams Oracle. It's nice just to hang out with you. I've been coming on here Wednesday consistently promoting the conference Summer Days. And before that, I kept promoting Promise of Spring. And then now I'm promoting Dragon Destiny. And it's like, hey, wait a minute here. When am I going to promote my cards and actually just hang out with you during my live hangout? So, wondering if anybody out there has ever had a gemstone reading from me before, or maybe I've pulled a card from the DDO, the Dragon Dreams Oracle. Lots of wellness junkies out there, right? Let me know. Are you a wellness junkie? The first step's admitting it. What's a wellness junkie? Well, wellness junkies are those people that they always want a car, pulled. They're always on board for this and that, energy medicine. And you know what? It's nice to try out new things. That doesn't make you a wellness junkie. Get out there, try as many different modalities and whatnot as you possibly can, right? See what works for you, what feels right. But what really distinguishes you as a wellness junkie? Well, when you don't take any action, you just passively get somebody to pull cards from you. You don't actually meditate with it, So Regilio saying, I think I may have intrusive entities. My sister died in a horrible accident. My grandma had a heart attack because of this. I'm sorry to hear that, Regilio. That is a lot to take in for sure. And you know what? Intrusive entities can be family members. They can be complete strangers They can absolutely be family members. And I'm not saying your sister and your grandmother are intrusive entities, but they could be. It could be that, your sister, when she died, she didn't know where to go and she went to you and she hasn't crossed over. And now she's an intrusive entity or something like that. Your sister grandmother could have completely crossed over and it's a stranger intrusive entity. And Rogelio is commenting, a year later, my father died of cancer. It comes in threes, Rogelio. My sister, who was dear to me, went on a drug spiral, and by the age of 25, I became father of my nephews and niece. All of this within 5 years. Yeah. That is a lot to take in, and especially be taking on the father role, right? Like being the uncle is one thing, but now being the father role, right? And drugs, anybody who has an addiction, like I said, the mind's number one job is to protect you, even if it means lying to yourself and creating false inhibiting beliefs. Smoking cigarettes, as you know, is an addiction. And more than 45,000 people die of smoking tobacco a year. That's the size of a small city, 45,000 people, right? Just dying of tobacco. And you think, well, how can somebody smoke tobacco when it's not good for them? If you think about an abusive relationship, somebody literally black and blue getting beat up, broken bones. Why in tarnations would somebody tolerate that and put up with somebody? Because the mind's number one job is to protect you, even if it means lying to you and creating false inhibiting beliefs. And so, it has a lot to do with codependency. But you know what? In the case of smoking cigarettes, a lot of people smoke cigarettes because they feel like they need to be, like that's their ticket to being social. And before you know it, they're hooked on cigarettes. A lot of people who smoke cigarettes, they're being abused socially, physically, mentally, sexually, all of the above abused. And so what do? They start smoking cigarettes. They hate cigarettes, but they start smoking cigarettes. Why? Because cigarettes stink. Right? And if somebody who doesn't smoke cigarettes is abusing you, and you always have to go outside for a cigarette, or you always have bad breath, or your hair is always stinky because of cigarettes, smoking cigarettes can act as a deterrent. Right? Lots of people who are in abusive relationships often are facing homelessness. So you ask yourself, well, what's the best of the two? Do I go homeless on the streets, or do I let this person keep beating me up in whatever shape, way, or form? And you know what? The mind's number one job is to protect you. And if having a roof over your head and being provided with, food and shelter, that can be very confusing. That's why it's a false inhibiting belief. These beliefs don't make sense, by the way. They don't make sense. But to your mind, as far as the programming goes, it's a blueprint. So it doesn't matter if it makes sense. A blueprint was created, right? People who are overweight, I can promise you don't have a weight issue. No, you don't. Sure, okay, if you're like pigging out all the time and not taking care of yourself and putting on the weight, yeah, that's one thing. But if you've genuinely tried to lose weight and you watch what you eat and whatnot, and the weight's just not coming off, I guarantee it's because you have a false inhibiting belief. And I can also guarantee that you're not going to lose any weight. Okay, yeah, you might lose some weight, but I can promise it'll come back. Tell me it hasn't come back. Tell me it hasn't come back. Even if you catch this episode in years from now, decades from now, tell me it hasn't come back. It's come back, hasn't it? Right? Get mind reprogramming. And I guarantee it won't come back, because you're going to reprogram your mind. You probably think that you need to be big. Somewhere for everybody, it's a case-by-case scenario, but most people who are overweight, struggling with weight, it's because somewhere in their childhood, something happened where they felt unsafe. And sometimes that feeling of unsafe, it ranges. Sometimes it's like straight up trauma. Mom is getting beat up in front of dad, and the child thinks to themselves, someday I'm going to be big. Yeah, you know what? You end up gaining lots of weight. That's not what you meant when you told yourself that someday you're going to be big. I know that, you know that, but that's how powerful your mind is, that your mind literally started to make you fat as you could be, as fast as you can be fat, and keeping that fat on. And if you try and lose weight, hey, that means you're not safe. So your mind's not going to let you. Your mind might play along and let you lose some weight, but like I said, you'll gain it back, right? So sometimes too, people, they don't feel safe because maybe, like today here in Canada, it's Canada's Day and people are setting off fireworks. Well, maybe you're 1.5, 2 years old and the neighbor is setting off fireworks and that scares you. You don't understand what that noise is. And so you tell yourself, someday I'm going to be, big. Well, we might laugh at that as adults. Oh my God, it's just fireworks, as if a little, 1.5, 2-year-old is thinking such thoughts. But those thoughts are very serious thoughts to that person, right? Doesn't matter the age. So people who have anxiety, this is a very classic example. So a lot of children, family reunions and whatnot, you go to the park and there's the ducks and the geese and there's a lot of them and they're just hanging out. And then you see the little toddler preschooler running with all their might to the birds. And what happens? The birds start flying away because they're scared, right? It was like a little kid running towards them. And what happens? The kid starts crying. Why? Because the kid is upset that the birds are flying away. The kid's upset because they think the birds don't like them. The kid's also upset because they're genuinely terrified. All of a sudden, there's all these birds and wings and claws and beaks. It's overwhelming. And what do the adults do time and time again? They laugh. They laugh and laugh and laugh. Why? Because, what it is, it's cute that it happened, right? And we laugh because we know it's okay. Even if a bird, randomly bunked into the child, we know that the child is going to be okay. Otherwise, we would have never allowed the child to run towards the birds, right? But what we don't realize is we're actually creating anxiety in the child. And then we're sending the child a message that, oh, when you have anxiety and shit is going down in the public and you turn to the people, the adults in your life, the safe adults, and what are they doing? They're laughing at you. Like, that's not a good feeling, right? So you tell yourself, someday I'm going to be big. I'm going to be big so these birds don't bother me anymore. And what ends up happening? You end up getting really fat and you stay fat for decades, most of your life. Well, if that doesn't happen, what else can happen? Well, you end up having social anxiety. You don't want to go out in public. Maybe you don't even like nature. You don't even like nature anymore. You have a false inhibiting belief that you don't even like nature because of that experience when you were a kid with the birds. So the reason for the blueprint, like often they're very serious reasons, right? But I'm telling you, equally just as often, it's like 50-50. Sometimes it's really seemingly not a big deal. But to the child, that blueprint, that moment was a big deal. And your mind is so powerful. I don't mean to be like pointing my finger, but I guess I really mean it. You right there listening, like it happens to the best of us, So, and She Wolf is saying, hug Rosie for me. Rosie, she's over there. You can see her in the hammock, just her ears. And it's nice and dark in here today. I got the bright light on, but like I was saying, I had all this lights off before I came live. We're having a heat wave today. It's not just normal hot weather. It's exceptionally hot and humid. Regilio commenting, and it was in my pursuit of medicine. Now that my career changed, it feels better, like the environment is better. Well, I'm happy to hear that. The environment, the fancy word for that is epigenetics. And epigenetics means the physical environment, like is it safe to be in? It means the natural environment, like the wind blowing, the sun shining, heat waves, day like today. But it also means the social, emotional environment. And we're always reminded, even myself, that I play a part in somebody else's epigenetics. I play a part in somebody else's environment, right? So if you go to work all the time and it's very negative, very negative, very everything sucks, everything is negative, everybody at work is a downer, like, guess what? You're going to start adopting that energy whether you want to or not. And if you're the empathetic type, you're going to really be absorbing that, right? But you have to remind yourself that, like, ask yourself, what role are you playing? Are you one of those people that goes to work and you're always, in a miserable mood? Or are you one of those people that you put your home life or whatever problems you have to the side and you go to work and you put a smile on your face and you do a good job providing phenomenal customer service, and that is contagious. The personality becomes contagious, right? Sometimes in life you got to fake it, like if you don't feel like smiling, then don't smile. That's what I always say. But for what it's worth, if you're working a customer service role and you don't ever have a smile on your face, like why would an employer want to hire you, right? So sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. You just got to put a smile on your face, do your customer service role. And then once you get home in the shower in your privacy, you can cry and do whatever, right? So Nathan, hi Nathan. Hi Nathan, a card or two perchance. I'm willing to pull one card for you. Sometimes if it's the full moon, I'll pull 3 cards and I'll tell people to pick one. Pick 1, 2, or 3. All the 3 cards apply to you, but it's the one that you chose that applies to you the most. But we're just pulling one card today. So let's pull a card for Nathan. Thanks, Nathan. And if anybody else out there wants me to pull a card, just put it in the chat. I'm working with pull energy here. So if I see you in the chat, that doesn't mean that you want me to pull a card for you. You have to let me know. If you want to make a donation on my BMAC, buy me a coffee, you can. You don't have to, but you can. And I lovingly invite you to spend $30 Canadian on my collective membership, ISIS Unity Consciousness Project 30 membership, because that defaults you to getting a free link for my Dragon Destiny conference, which is next Saturday. Next Saturday? Yeah, next Saturday. This Saturday is the 4th. Next Saturday is July 11th. And I'm going to be doing a presentation on mind reprogramming, rules of the mind. Then we're going to have some suggestibility fun. And then one Dragon Dreamer, it could be you, is going to get free live mind reprogramming right there on the spot. And earlier today when I was live, I took people to my Buy Me a Coffee. So my Buy Me a Coffee, it's in the description. It's also there in the chat. Okay, let's pull a card for Nathan. Nathan's Way Witch, Fox 1926. All right. Okay, the feminine earth. There's like a rocking motion that I'm sensing. Okay. There's something very, very gentle. Like it's like my pinky finger here is going to choose the card, but it's just very gently, almost in slow motion, moving the other cards to the side. Okay, I'm not looking, but okay, I need to look because I'm not sure what card here. Oh, you know what? There's 2 cards. There's 2 cards. These 2 cards, like my pinky finger, it can't choose one. That's why I had to open my eyes. And when I opened my eyes, it was like, you know what? This is synchronicity. You're getting 2 cards, Nathan. Oh, I love these cards. I love all the cards. Okay, this first one This is number 5. It's called spring cleaning. So Nathan, you got to do spring cleaning. Like, you know, on a physical, literal level, you go through your closet and you throw out your stuff and you donate it, or maybe you mix match it. So here in this picture, there's a clothes rack, and there's like a wolf mask and a part of a clown suit. Yeah, this light. There we go. There's a closet in the background. There's like a lobster suit hanging. There's a snake here. And then there's boxes here, you know, figuring out what you're going to do with it. So this is what you need to be doing, Nathan. You need to be doing some spring cleaning, but spring cleaning up here. Repurpose old materials to create new identity. And let's read what it says in the booklet. This was Oracle card number 5, Lost and Found. The discussion centers on Oracle card number 5, which signifies the universe's patience with individuals as they navigate the process of shedding their masks or adopted personas. Gina shares a personal story of wearing a mask for their entire life, explaining that masks are meant to be temporary, a temporary layer that eventually sheds, much like a snake skin. The snake imagery is presented as a guide for those to show this process, emphasizing donation, seasonal relevance, and discarding items that are no longer needed, hence the burn pile, or storing them for future use. So yeah, like Nathan, seems to me like change is at hand, whether you want to change or not. And you're wearing a mask on your brain, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions. So that mask that you're wearing, Nathan, it's too small. So if you're feeling irritable, the full moon just passed, shed, release it to the full moon, say a prayer, do something moon magic. It's not too late. Even if it was a new moon, I would say do it anyways. Do something symbolic. Put on a sweater. Take the sweater off. Symbolic of shedding the skin. The trouble with wearing a mask is that when it doesn't fit you anymore, it's too bad. And you would think that this would be welcomed, but it's often not, because what's familiar keeps you safe. And you've had this mask for who knows how long. But when this mask comes off, it feels very wrong. Very, very wrong. In truth, the mask is wrong. That's why you outgrew it. And this is part of alchemy. But it's scary. And the thing is if you don't shed your mask willingly, at some point the mask falls off on its own. And that's when it can get scary. And that's what this book was talking about, because I was wearing a mask on my whole entire mind, body, spirit, energy field aura my whole life. And when the mask came off, oh my God, like it was traumatizing that it came off. I felt so naked and exposed. The fact that the mask didn't fit anymore, I couldn't put it back on no matter how badly I wanted to. I couldn't sew it. I had to like completely put it in the burn pile, metaphorically. And last year I did a special dance where I dressed up like a wolf, and it was kind of like striptease, but not. But I shed my mask. I like shed my fur vest. I shed my scary claws. I shed my the mask had like teeth in it. I took that off, and it was. And then at one point in the song, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that my mask was falling off. And then I try to put the mask on, and it's just like ridiculous. Can't put it on. And then I bury the mask, and then I discover a new mask, and it's a t-shirt, some merchandise that I had. And I put my t-shirt on, and it's like my new matrix. So I love to think, pair, share it up. And I'm wondering, Nathan, what you're going to do. But Nathan, you got 2 cards from the earth. Mother Earth, and it came from the feminine. This one here is reminding you to have an open heart, a clear heart, and a protected heart. So when I think about this card here in the mask, I think about how your mask is probably protecting you, and you want to open your heart and expand it, expand your consciousness. But this mask is going to inhibit that process. Your very determination is inhibiting you, and that determination is clinging to this mask. But just for funsies, let's see what I wrote. This was Oracle card 15, and I put the heart always wins, self-regulate and balance. So if you're not balanced, any brain heart harmony, like things that you're trying to manifest, that's not going to be happening. And honestly, if you're not self-regulated, including myself, right? All of this applies to me too. If you're not self-regulated and the heart always wins, you might tell somebody off because, you're irritable. But what ends up happening is you tell somebody off, or you're really rude to somebody who doesn't deserve it. Because you're dysregulated, you snap at people. Even the dog, the dog's lying down on the floor, and you're like, get out of my way. And it's like, fuck you. The dog always lies down on the floor, right? Like, why are you treating the dog like that? Anyways, DDO 15, open heart, clear heart, protected heart. Gina explores the concept of an elixir and centers on the significance of balancing an open heart and protected heart. It suggests that an open heart must be regulated to avoid negative expressions stemming from dysregulation, advocating for a shift towards indifference. The heart is presented as ruling, requiring a clear mindset and protection against metaphorical contamination, while cautioning against overprotection that leads to closure. So let me know how that resonates with you, Nathan. I think it's pretty cool that 2 cards ended up getting chosen, right? All right. I can see in the chat that nobody else wants me to pull a card for them. So I thank you so much, Dragon Dreamers, for your time with me today. Let me just clear this here. And Nathan is commenting, on point. Thank you. Okay, I'm glad, Nathan, that was on point for you. And you know what? The Dragon Dreams Oracle, it's not your typical oracle. These cards can be very foreboding. They don't always have the best happy news. And so I thank everybody for being vulnerable, for receiving whatever does come up. And if you have any questions about my oracle, you can save them for next Wednesday. If you want to put questions in the comments, next Wednesday I can fall back checking it out. So again, if you're interested in getting mind reprogramming, you can book a session with yours truly, Gina Virginia Casella, that's me, and we can do that. You just go to my Buy Me a Coffee, and all the times and dates are there. That's the Shamanic Dragon membership. And if you're interested in saving some serious money, you could win a free mind reprogramming session during the Dragon Destiny. And if you belong to the Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness membership, then it defaults you to receiving a free link for that day. So I wonder what the Dragon Dreams Oracle have to say about you. And if you would like to host me on your show, if you want me to talk about mind reprogramming, rules of the mind, there's too much to talk about, really. So let me know what you would like me to address. And it's always fun to pull cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle as well. And you can connect with me through my Gmail, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com. And if you visit my Buy Me a Coffee, all my contact information is there and whatnot. And same links are, the replays are always the same link. So, okay, Dragon Dreamers, thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Always enjoy my time with you here. And My outro video is highlighting Dragon Destiny. And just to update, this morning we canceled the in-person dinner and we're doing online only. Okay. Hi, Shahab from India. Thanks for the love. I'm just signing out here though, so I hope you catch the replay. And if you're not doing anything, Tuesday, Wednesdays at 1:30 Eastern, Tuesdays I host a show, Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength. We heal with the earth. You, me, we're the earth. So when we share our stories, we share medicine. Okay. On Wednesdays, that's when I hang out with you live, just like I'm doing now. I do promotions, can ask me questions, and I'm always willing to pull a card for you from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, which I would like to do more of. A little bit less promotion. It's been promotion heavy lately with Summer Days, Promise of Spring, and now Dragon Destiny. So let's do more Hangout, okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for the love. Take good care of yourself. We're experiencing a heat wave today. If you are, stay hydrated. You know, even if you don't feel thirsty, drink water, have a glass of water already poured, just ready there for you. You just drink it and do it, right? Drink a glass of water for me. I'll feel better. Okay, take good care of yourselves and looking forward to next time.